Hello everyone and welcome to the second part of our Mandala series. So now, remember that in the first I showed you this, how some possible designs for your mandala that I made up the names. But those here are done in straight lines, but we know the mandalas are circular, so now we're going to learn how to draw that circle. So I'm going to have my compass, my H pencil, because the H pencil is light, okay? If you have 2H, 3H, 4H, even better. So I'm just using the H because it's light, so the outline of my circles will be easy to erase. Okay, and I have a ruler. Any size ruler will do fine. So the first step is to find the center of the page, and how can I do that? So I'm just going to take my pencil and I'm going to find the opposite edges. Okay, so the opposite corners, of my page, and I'm just going to draw a little line, very light, roughly in the middle. So you can barely see the line. Okay, and then I'll do the same at the opposite place, at the opposite corners. Oh, my lines didn't meet, but that's no problem. I can just go around and do it again over here. And now I know exactly where the lines meet, and where the lines meet is exactly the center of the page. So now whatever I do above, I can do below quite easily. So now the second part is just to draw a line, cutting the page in half, but now with a horizontal line, going through the center, okay? So what I usually do is I put my pencil in the center and then I slide my ruler to it and I draw a line. By the way, it might not be perfectly horizontal. If you want to do it perfectly horizontal, you can measure on both sides the length, divide by 2, draw a little chord, but I'm not too worried about it. I don't want my mandala to be, otherwise I can do, if I want it to be completely perfect, I can do it in a computer. And now I'm just going to take my compass, I'm going to place it at the center, and I'm going to draw a circle. How big the circle? Doesn't matter. A circle that goes a little bit over half of the page, okay? So now you have your circle. I'm going to do a little bit darker so that you can see. Okay, but now, even though this line here was slightly done without too much measuring, all the other lines will be done with measuring, okay? So I'm going to take 2 points that are very important. I'm going to take the point where the circle meets the line on this edge. I'm going to do a little cross, and where the line meets the other edge of the circle, here. And now I'm going to place it here, and I'm going to bring my compass, it's slightly larger than halfway, okay? And I'm going to do a line above and a line below. How long the lines? Doesn't matter. I'm just going to do a little bit darker so you're able to see. And below. And then I'm going to go to the other side and I'm going to do the same. One and one. So now you see that the 2 lines meet. They meet here and they meet here. And why did I do that? And by the way, during this time, I did not change how open my compass is. I kept the same. So now I drew a line, an imaginary line that is this size, and then I drew an imaginary line that is the same size. So what I actually did is draw a point that is exactly halfway in between those 2 points. And I did the same below. So now you will see that this point here, the center, and this point are exactly aligned. And then what I do is I draw a line connecting them. So now I have the circle divided into 4 exact sized quarter circle. A semicircle, quarter circle, full circle, okay? And now I'm going to use the same. So I still have those points, and I'm going to find the point where this vertical line meets the circle. And here is the same. So by the way, this line, when we use this method, is called a bisecting line. So it's a line that takes this entire angle and split in half. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to bisect this, and this perfectly. And how can I do that? I can take the compass. Same way it was done before. You can open a little more, you can close a little more, doesn't matter. So I'm going to close a little, and I'm going to draw a line. So with the sharp edge of your compass where the vertical line meets the circle, and I'm going to do a, and then I'm going to go to this one, and I'm going to see where does that line meet. Okay, so it meets here. So I'm just, while I'm here, I'm going to do one below here. So then I'm going to go to this, and I'm going to draw a line where they meet. So here is the point where they meet. Since I am here, I'm going to draw one here, and then I'm going to go to the next one, and I'll see where the lines meet. Sometimes they don't meet perfectly, but it's only a case of going back and just extending it a little bit. So going back here, I'll draw a line, and then go to the next one where we started from and draw a line. So now what I did is a line that connects this point, the center, and this here will bisect. We'll cut this 90-degree angle here in half. So I'll have 2 chunks of 45 degrees. Very mathematical, no? But what I'm doing is I am bisecting it. So what I'm going to do, I am going to join the opposite points going through the center. So I'm going to take here and join. And by the way, I'm doing it strong so you can see. Don't do it as strongly as this, because otherwise it would be a nightmare to erase when you're finished your mandala. And then I'm going to do this again with those points that are opposite to each other, going through the center. So now I have 8 slices of pizza exactly the same. 45-degree angle, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45. In total, 360 degrees. And I mean, now is a matter of doing it however many times you want. The more you do, the more details you can add to your mandala. So I'm just going to find the points where the diagonal line meets the circle, and I'm just going to do a little cross. So this is our next focal point, okay? And then I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to close a little bit, otherwise we'll go off the page. Put it here. Draw a line. And then next point, and do another line crossing over. Since I'm here, I'm going to do one on this side, move over to the next, and do it. And then next one over, do a line, bring to the next point where the line meets the circle. So you see, I'm creating all these points. And then since I'm here, I'm just going to do in all of them. So again, I'm taking this angle here, and from the center to the line, I am cutting that angle in exactly 2/2. So that 45-degree angle will turn into 22.5-degree angle. And we are almost there. And this here is going, even though it's pretty cool if you can do mandalas completely free-handed, I can't. So I have to do this all the time. Okay, so now what I do is I take the opposite points and I draw a line that connects them. So, and the more precise you do, the nicer it looks at the end. This here is a very important tool when people are doing graphic design, when people are drawing buildings. Architects use this technique quite a lot. So even though we're using it for mandalas, you can use this technique to do whatever you want. Very easy to draw equilateral triangle, pentagons, stars. You can use it to do many perspective paintings, which is something that I'm going to do a video teaching you how to do perspective. Different points of views to make a drawing using a single point. All the lines will join at a point. So we're kind of doing this here now, but you might not be able to see. So I'm just going to take that line in the beginning. I'm going to make a little darker so that you're able to see. There you go. So now I have divided my mandala into 16 different parts. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to leave at 16. If you want to go further and divide into 32, it's up to you. And now I'm going to draw a whole bunch of concentric circles. What is concentric? They are circles that share the same center. And we're going to draw a whole bunch of them. How distant are they from each other? Doesn't matter. You can make some that are close to each other, some that are farther apart. It's up to you. Make them as random, and the more random you make them, the more you'll have to exercise your imagination. I like to make them pretty random so that I can try different designs, not only the same design every single time. While I'm doing this, the dogs are outside barking. They can't see anything going along their territory that they will start bark, 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 bark. Okay, so, and then you can go way beyond the circle that you did outside. So those circles that you can remember are called concentric circles. They are circles that share the same center. And I'm just going to do maybe, well, one more. Otherwise I'll go off the page. So now, as you can see, you have 16 slices that are exactly the same and many circles that will help guide you in the drawing of your mandala. So then you can start from center out, from out inwards. It's up to you. There's no rules. There are many different ways. Here I drew 16. You can draw, depending on how you begin, you can draw 6, start with a hexagon, divide the hexagon into a dodecagon, which is 12 sides, 12 equal slices. So you can make different multiples. You can start with a pentagon. It's just how we divide it. There's no set rule. It's up to you to decide. And then from here, you can start your mandala. You can take a pen, you can take a darker pencil. So I have different types of pencils, and I'm going to take the 8B just so that I'll start with something from the center, and I'm going to use 2 slices. So whatever I do in these 2 slices, I repeat every 2 slices. So I'm going to draw a petal. So it's like a line within a slice, and then I do the same on the other side, about the same, and again. So now I have a petal every 2 slices, and then I haven't taped it because I want to rotate. The more I am able to rotate, the easier it is for me. And again. So the entire point of mandala is repetition, and repetition helps you focus your mind. Some people might find it super boring. I find it so relaxing, because in order to be able to do the mandalas exactly the same, do every petal as similar as possible, you need focus. And this is just how I would begin this mandala. So in the next video, I will continue the process of making this mandala, but for now you know how to make the circles to help you guide the process of making your own. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.